Were you so frightened by our power that you wet yourself, furry ears?
Did I what? You've got a lot of nerve, you one-eyed monster.
Nia, you can't just go around saying that to people. Mithra, tell her to say sorry.
Shut up!
I think my game is broken.
No.
Now that's comedy.
Yay, I can finally upload this! I want to talk about the whole game, so I'll split it up into parts. And maybe set a really low light goal since... what could go wrong? You really like Xenoblade, don't you?
No.
But also, hello, to any new viewers here. There is actually a part before this over here, and in the description and comments, so please check that out first as it covers a lot of the story and gameplay. Don't worry, I'll wait. This is taking too long. So you're the main protagonist, and you're the waifu? Then who's flying the plane? So our gang of Rex, Pyra, Mithra, Nia, Mufasa, Perv, and Poppy all crash on Moradane. And holy moly, we are underleveled!
I will
juice.
save you.
This desert area is very dusty and also home to the military capital. And once we head there, we meet another one of these things.
Oh, Torna not remember me at all. It's Mui. I was assistant of Professor Susu.
Oh, right. Mui not very interesting, so Tora forgot he exists.
Man, Tora, you cold AF. This apparent assistant to Tora's dad said he was getting some adult magazines, and when he came back, the dad disappeared. Well, that was pointless then. So we wander the town buying equipment and so on, till we reach an inn, which has a hot spring in a Japanese game. Oh no!
Nice bod you've got there.
Please, Nia, don't tempt the YouTube headquarters.
No, I just thought it's been fun lately.
You're a sicko, Rex, you know that, right?
But
So the military seems to be up in arms over some commotion, and we go to investigate, which means kill innocent military soldiers. Well, we try to do that.
I will save you.
They then find the thing causing the
Ruckus.
and it's another artificial blade who looks like Poppy and was made by Tora's gramps. Why is every grandpa in this game horny? So we fight the blade called Lila, but she escapes, and Tora remembers fondly on that time back in the day where he would work naked with his dad and Gramps making a goth-made robot. Yes, this was as weird for me to read out loud as you think.
How rude.
But we then see the moment of his granddaddy's death.
Don't you have any idea who the attackers were?
I have no idea.
Tora then realizes that the only one who could finish making Lila was his dad, meaning that he's alive somewhere. Well, I guess it's time for his story arc. But then, all of a sudden, Morag and Bridget come in with soldiers. They mistake Poppy for Lila and try to arrest us. Oh look, it's another cutscene where we easily win, but the story says otherwise. So we continue to fight till this spy Nopon thing comes in and is like, "Hey, forget about it, you got the wrong girl." Morag apologizes and we join forces to find Tora's dad and that other blade. So now the mission is to find people who sold parts to make Poppy, as they would have needed the same parts to make Lila. Be careful, everyone. I think someone might be following us. Oh crap, he's onto me. He doesn't suspect a thing. Our investigation leads us to a factory in the middle of the desert. But standing in our way is the old JoJo couple.
Oh, it's Shalad.
Yes, wait!
Seems that insult was a bit too much as he breaks out his most powerful move. Well, Anyway, we make it inside the factory to find that they are mass producing artificial blades.
What?
And deeper down we see Tora's daddy pond. But oh no, the mysterious blue thing comes in revealing himself as the traitor. And he was doing this all for this dude, remember? From the first part? Anyway, he's been making all these fake blades and selling them off to whomsoever wants them. They then send Lila to attack us, but with the power of friendship, we managed to wrangle her back to our side while the two Nopon flee. And honestly, I kinda weirdly love this area of the game. Unique setting with many different sections to explore, lots of treasure to find, and these weird bird enemies. We reached the end of the factory to only witness an earthquake.
What's all this shaking?
What the heck is going on?
This is too ridiculous for words.
So we fight, a giant robot maid piloted by two pervs. Yeah. Poppy then comes in and, Super Saiyan transforms.
This energy's incredible.
Yeah. This is Poppy QT. And with such a powerful form, she barely uses it in the rest of the game.
Wait, what?
We then defeat the giant mech and chase Banana down to get him to stop making the fake blades. See, talking things out can always solve problems. What the? These are the other two members of Torna, the team from earlier that really wanted the Aegis.
That's the Aegis.
And we almost lose to them, but Morag comes in to save the day. But yeah, I forgot, we have the frickin' Aegis. This attack destroys their blades. And before more fighting can break out,
another character
steps in, who is from Indol, that big holy important place, and the other two flee while they can. Now with this new character, the game sorta picks up again with a whole bunch of new story developments. Because frankly, I was getting a bit tired of Tora's daddy pawn issue. We cut back to Jin, the leader of Torna, who reassures someone named Laura that it is almost time while she is frozen in stasis. And then it cuts back again to 500 years ago, where Mithra was with that savior to the world, Adam, as he spars with Laura. We also see Jin, Bridget, and that new Indol girl. Well, this is all nice and such, but I miss my racing car.
So back to the present.
The party is on a ship headed to Indol. The girl introduces herself as Fan Lanorn. She tells us that the praetor Amalthus, who is the distributor of all blades to drivers, wishes to meet old Rexy boy. Rex only agrees to it after finding out that Amalthus is also the driver of Coughing Man. And Malos, the big old baddie. Also one thing to note, here we see more of the blade's memories being erased after they return to their crystal, as both Bridget and Fan were there in the past, but neither remembers Mithra, who as the Aegis can remember things throughout time. We then cut back to Jin again. Isn't he popular? Where those two bozos report what happened. Akos also tells them the brief political thing I mentioned earlier, which was where Mor Ardain was digging around and finding this old technology called Judicium. Interestingly, this is where those tests were done to create the blade human hybrids like Mr. Coughing Man. So cut back again to Rex. Jeez, my head is spinning from all this cutting. Where we land on these beautiful floating islands, which is where Rex actually lives. Pyra is very eager to see Rex's parents.
No.
And insists they travel there. And so they go and do that. Now this place is probably my favorite in the entire game. The whole place just screams tropical resort. Well, until you fall off, meaning you have to swim all the way around again.
Oh, that's great.
And this place is great for leveling up your battling skills. Before I mentioned that early game fighting wasn't that fun. Well, this area is where that starts to change, with huge monsters that take a while to defeat, meaning you can have fun practicing all those chain attack combo I forget what I called them. Well, just be careful when all the rewards fall off to the side. Gee, thanks Nintendo. And after a fun while, we reach Rex's hometown, and are greeted by the children and this lady, who is the caretaker of Rex.
Oh,
old lady have lots of little ponds?
SMH, you can build advanced AI, but you sure are a dumb sucker potato. Rex then takes Pyra to meet his parents, who are dead. I'm honestly so impressed with Rex. He didn't have any parents around, yet he still works for himself and sends a lot of money back to the village. Great guy, really. Back at the lady's house...
He's never brought a girl to meet me before.
Huh?
You do hear of blades and drivers getting married a lot in the old stories.
She tells us Rex's backstory and that he actually wasn't born in town, but instead his dying mother brought him with her last breath, and they found his dead dad only a few miles away. Pyra notions how maybe she should not be with Rex since that would only bring more tragedy to his already tragic life. The lady assures her that everything will be fine, and off we go to reach the ship to finally take us to Indol. But of course, the JoJo couple is back again.
You want to join the fun too?
Get out.
And here we learn that he's the crown prince of Tantal? That's the other big continent, by the way.
Now this is more like it. Ooh, come on, yeah. Keep it coming.
I will
juice.
save you.
After we beat him, he concedes that he actually works for Indol, keeping an eye out for us and to test us if we're actually strong enough. But well, he always has the worst luck.
Why me?
Should we go rescue him? Nah.
So we finally make it to Indol and decide to be tourists. And instead we see anti-blade protests on the street. There are a lot of politics with this as Indol gives people blades, but some people don't want blades to exist at all. And then you have Mordane, whose titan is dying, which is why they are sneaking off doing military things and trying to steal the cat people's land. Fan allows us to stay in the capital to enjoy the sights. Ew. And we find her staring at this huge painting. Beautiful.
Has somebody got a little crush? I wonder what Pyra and Mithra would think.
Hey, no.
She ponders on the thought of forgotten memories as we cut to Pyra and Bridget discussing similar things. Gee, is that all blades talk about these days? Bridget, however, says that she remembers a lot of her past since she kept a diary during those past lives and knows what Mithra did back then, and that she should tell Rex before it hurts him later.
But
We then go to see the Praetor, a Malthus, while a flashback shows us again that he was that dude who climbed the tree, to get the two core crystals being Mithra and Malos.
We're the same, you and I. I consider us equals.
I feel a bit better now you've put it that way, Your Eminence.
So Rex pleads his case to be allowed to climb the world tree, because when he finds Elysium, he then can stop that war over the dwindling land. Amalthus says he used to think like that too, and yeah, sure, why not? No harm letting the kid try. Rex then trips out seeing Malos in place of Amalthus. I wonder if he also ate some bad mac and cheese.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, Ginny Oh Boy lands on Temperantia, the neutral zone that Ardanians were digging in. The place is also home to these giant super bug weapon things, which is why Mordane had set up camp here to try and grab them for the war. Jin, however, sneaks in and then uses the machine to open the World of Light to attack the Urian soldiers stationed on the island. This is then misunderstood as Mordane attacking the other, and word travels to Morag, who suspects that Torna might be the cause behind this. So away we go. We arrive on the island and find the beast is still rampaging. Morag tells us to jump on its back and attack the power cables to stop it vaporizing everyone, and so we go and do that. Well, not right away, because of course it has a defense mechanism.
A what now?
After that, Jin pops out and confronts us. Mithra questions him as to why he was helping Malos, when in fact he was a good guy back in the day. Jin accuses Mithra as her power caused the kingdom of Torna to fall during the war, which led to the death of Laura. He also reveals that he is a blade himself, but hates the fact that blades have those horrible rewritten memories each life, and due to that, humans were able to conquer the blades. He says that Malos woke his eyes to this, which is why he tries to kill us.
This energy's incredible.
Fan, whose ability can stop any blade, tries to slow him down, but of course, as the evil, sexy ninja bad guy,
He resists.
and within a blink of an eye he kills her.
You are no slave. Be free now.
With her last breath, she reminds Jin of Laura when she died, and this along with the old anime too much power trope stops his attack. But of course, Akos comes in to whisk him away, and we are stuck here. Rex sad he couldn't stop another death, while the two warring sides are about to blast each other out of the sky. Now take a guess as to what happens next. Too late. Amalthus commands his frickin' Titan of Indol to come in between them to stop them. Yes, the literal entire land we were just roaming. And so the chapter ends.
This is too ridiculous for words.
It is here where we get the backstory on the whole Jin and Laura thing, where it shows a young Laura awakening Jin back in the day. This, however, annoys the heck out of her dad, who almost kills her. But Jin comes in the way and kills him first, and saying how he will always be there to protect her. Anyway, back to the Titan Wars. Indol's huge presence puts a ceasefire in place and invites Prince Alphonse from Moradane and Rakura from Australia, Uriah, to talk things out. But of course, stick the old Aegis in any room and stuff gets done.
Naturally.
She and Zeke convinced them that it was Malus's fault, and that in fact, Malus is pretty weak right now, which is why he wants to return to Elysium to heal his broken core crystal up. Amalthus then reminds everyone that he was the dude who climbed the tree, and yes mate, we all know how it's your fault.
Naturally.
Meanwhile outside, the three musketeers plot to kill the leaders since they all are here in one place. But that's dumb. We still got more story to go through. No, tell us why you're really here. Well, it's to info dump Jin's plan, which is to open a path to the world tree to kill the actual god architect and then all of humanity.
Oh, that's great.
Now, because Fan was highly regarded in Indol, she is given a huge funeral. But good old Nia has no time to be respectful at a funeral.
So wait, you're saying you want to go be clingy or what?
I'll burn you.
Sheesh.
They also do remark how Fan didn't turn into a crystal like before, but instead it got split in half like with Rex and Mithra. It's almost as if someone stole her core crystal. Anywho, we finally get back on track to our original goal, to catch Rayquaza. Defeat the serpent thingy that to able to reach the tree. We learn that this thing was actually Mithra's pet. Yeah, but died during the war. And Amalthus tells us that the kingdom of Tantal were the ones who revived him and told it to stop anyone approaching the tree through control of the Omega Feta cheese.
Jeez.
Plus, they also made a big black hole at the bottom to deter even more people.
How did they manage a feat like that?
As I've said, mankind
Is regressing.
That doesn't explain anything.
Naturally.
Zeke finally gets his big old character growth since he is the Prince of Tantal, and says that his people are actually descendants of Adam, who was part of that Torna country. You know, the dude that everyone blames. After he sealed Mithra away, he founded Tantal, and so with Zeke on our team, we head there.
Luck of Zeke not so great. Bet we shipwrecked by tomorrow.
Son of a...
And oh boy, we jump cut to another different group, where we see the more Ardain crew discussing that they will meet the Aussies to try and work out peace. But then that weird spy Nopon thing from before tells them that Banana plans to kill all the leaders there. And so again, we gotta go and try to find out what he plans to do. And so we investigate. Why can't I buy more cookies? Ahem.
No.
But seeing as how we are bumbling fools, we mistakenly think he's gonna poison the guests, as he hired those birds from the factory as the chefs.
Poison! That food is poisoned!
No.
Mr. Banana here instead tries to blow them up. Well, he sure made it more powerful. But we defeat the giant mech maid, and this annoys Banana, who pulls a kamikaze move and blows up the mech to kill everyone there. Alphonse, however, charges in and gets his blade to save everyone at the cost of his life, much to the shock of the Aussies. And we now lost another member. Then in honestly a mind-blowing scene, Nia tells her blade to distract everyone while she transforms, showing a core crystal on her, and then proceeds to super heal him back from the dead.
Wait, what?
And then is like, hey, you dum-dums, he was alright. Don't you ever breathe a word of this to anyone, alright, kiddo?
This is too ridiculous for words.
So, yeah. Alphonse sends Morag to help us, and we finally go to the kingdom of Tantal.
Say, chum, which one do you fancy, Pyra or Mithra?
Definitely Captain Cronserial. Wait, that's not what I was asking. I said Captain Cronserial.
You like it?
So on the way, we learn that Zeke was disowned for wanting to venture outside the kingdom to explore the world. I.e., he's got daddy issues.
Shut up and sit down, chum. This'll be great.
Oh yes, I'm sure it will be. So Zeke gets his blade Pandoria to call up the Titan of Tantal, which actually just swims around under the sea.
But
It sure is cold.
Nia, do you, mind?
You're just so warm.
Did I hear something naughty just now?
No.
So after some Yeti hunting, we arrive at the palace, a rundown area where we then meet the nice king. Oh no, he's not a nice king at all. The king imprisons us and captures Pyra, telling his son that he plans on destroying the Aegis for the good of the world. He was able to capture us somehow by stopping the ether flow in the weapons, rendering the blades useless. But with some JRPG trickery, Morag had told Tora beforehand to make Poppy store some of her energy in herself just for this moment. See, Tora, you can use your blade for non-pervy things. You small little sicko.
You what?
We then cut to Zeke pondering about his friend's dilemma. And the only reason I mention this scene is that Zeke tells his blade that Rex can be the one to save his kingdom since his heart is pure. And that as a child, Zeke, who is the adult, has to help guide him. Keep in mind this for the end game. Anyway, after so much time wasting, Poppy finally bursts down the door and the group rush to find Pyra while teaming up with Zeke. We then find her and whoa, did they just point a cannon at her?
yes,
Are you nuts, mate?
yes.
They plan on overloading her with ether energy to kill her, but not before we come rushing in. Zeke and Poppy push the cannon to miss hitting Pyra, and it destroys something not important. Also this.
Pyra! Pyra!
Pyra!
So the king then comes clean, saying that these people aren't actually descendants of Adam, but rather used his name to help unite the country after Adam abandoned them. However, Pyra reveals through some mystical magical hologram thing of Adam with a pre-recorded message that he didn't want to come back and that he sealed her away as a trial, because only when humans and blades can learn to live together, then she can save the world. That sounds a bit confusing. Can you explain it in a bit more detail? No time for that. The Titan is crashing further into the ocean, as that not really important thing earlier was important. It was the Omega Feta cheese which Pandoria used to control the ship's depth, meaning down with the ship we go. But of course, as the goody main character, we go to repair it since Pyra says it's just like the thing she used to control Rayquaza, so it should be no problem for her.
The way the king was acting, I can't help feeling there's something more to it.
You think Indol is holding something else over Tantal?
Do you know anything about those days, Gramps?
No, I was somewhere else at the time.
Geez, Gramps.
What's the point of keeping an old-timer like you around if you don't even know anything?
He said it! What I've been saying for these past 2 videos.
Rex?
We also get a little tidbit here, where Pyra tells us that she has 2 artificers, Rayquaza and Siren, or the thing that helped shoot those light beams earlier. Malus even has some of his own, but Pyra doesn't know why the architect even gave her these, and she wants to go to Elysium to find out.
Open a chest, it might turn out great, but until then it's just a crate.
Rex.
We then find the Omega Feta cheese, which Pyra manages to repair and removes it so they can use it on Rayquaza.
Can you fix it?
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
But while leaving, we are blocked by the 3 goofballs. And we easily defeat them. Ginny old boy comes in with some ultra instinct power levels, as he can now control the elements and move faster than light itself. Sorry, what?
This is too ridiculous for words.
This is some really crazy anime nonsense. I mean, he destroys our entire team and isn't even phased by Siren's OP laser attack. Oh, well, he's about to kill Rex by removing his crystal, because remember, Rex is technically dead already. But Pyra stops him by focusing the laser on herself, saying she'll destroy the Aegis if he doesn't let Rex go. Jin agrees and kidnaps Pyra.
Pyra!
And leaves Rex all alone again. The poor kid who really cannot do anything to change the world. Word of the Aegis being captured by Jin reaches Indol, where Amalthus ominously says prepare the ceremony, and then this gem on the Titan starts to glow. We then cut back to Rex and Tantal, having awoken to find no Pyra or Mithra, and he makes the sudden decision to leave the group and return to be a salvager, because all in all, he's just a little kid. Pyra doesn't deserve him, and he feels she's actually better off with Malos than with him. This of course leads to a heartbreaking scene as Nia, Bridget, and even Poppy cry out at Rex that this is not the Rex they know. He should be understanding how much pain Pyra must be in to do all this just for him, and that she would never want to leave his side. This sad scene is then interrupted by a summon from the king. He tells us more of the history of Tantal, and that to be able to hide the Titan under the sea, Indol only allowed it if they gave up one resource: core crystals. Yes, the crystals, which are made from the Titan's energy, were used as payment to Indol to keep hush about the whole country thing. And as a result, the climate grew colder and the whole country now is in poverty. Indol ain't the pretty clean country we all thought it was. In fact, the letter he brought from Amalthus, which he thought was just asking for aid, actually said that Indol now wanted the Omega Feta cheese, and as such the king was worried that if he said no, they would use the Aegis to obliterate his country, so he thought to destroy it first. He also reveals a more interesting tidbit: a third Aegis blade.
You what?
Yes, while there exists Pyra and Mithra, there also sits a more powerful third blade, which Adam himself couldn't wield, and thus locked away. This whole speech rallies Rex, who now feels he was the one holding the Aegis back, and maybe this sword can unleash their true potential. And what do you know? Gramps suddenly says, "Oh boy, Rex, you sure are ready. I know everything about this. Let me take you to the blade." And I know this is normally done in JRPGs to help the main character grow, but Gramps, come on!
Don't play dumb.
So we head there while Gramps tells us that Adam himself made him guard the third blade. Now the place is near Rex's hometown, and as such only one of his kind can open the door to it, which is also why Jin needed Rex in that earlier excavation. Now while we go down, it seems that the tiger had a bit too much to drink. And Gramps reveals another thing he kept secret, because I don't know, he likes seeing the tiger suffer. He tells us that the cave actually has a power to limit blades. No, not just in the story sense. This place actually limits your moves, meaning you can't do any super duper combos here. And holy moly, I dislike this place so much. Run for your life, Tora! Don't look back, just keep running! So anyway, I hate this place so much.
You for real?
And here's another tidbit. Zeke is actually a blade eater. Not a blade turned human, but a human with blade parts. As while traveling, he almost died. Amalthus found them, and not to erase his blade's memories, took part of her crystal and put it in Zeke. Reminds you of something from earlier? Seems like Indol ain't the goody-goody. Yeah, okay, you get the point now. And I guess, well, the Cave of Death is good at bringing finding out people's backstories. Cause here's Nia. So she was from a rich family, but her sister grew extremely ill, and eventually both she and her father died while searching for her cure. Nia alone found her dad's core crystal and awakened Dromark, and later they were captured by Indol, but Jin came in to save her and had her join Torna. Also, by the way, this cave is still stupid. I swapped out team members since I couldn't handle Rex without Mithra, and well, see for yourself.
Well done. This is the culmination of years. I'm all right. This can't forgive me.
I will forgive you.
It was joke.
No.
We then head deeper into the cave, and yeah, this was the worst segment in the entire game for me. So there's this spider cave, and there are these bridges that collapse. And now if they collapse, you end in this spider
heck hole
with literally no way out, apart from this burnable web. Now in the first part I mentioned the field skills, and having them in your main party can do these things in the overworld. Now naturally you would assume stuff like this is for optional quests.
Naturally.
But oh no, to proceed in the main story you have to burn this web. There is no other way. And I literally spent hours here because I did not have the blades on me to open this, and what with the handicap in this tunnel meant that I couldn't even defeat the spiders, so I would go in, dying again and again, trying to see how to get through without going through this web. I then decided to meditate on it and not look up anything online, and oh boy, guess I gotta farm some blades to go through to get the skills to burn the web. There was one more section later on which was much worse, but seriously this was my one major gripe with this game. You somehow needed active blades that had all these skills to progress the story, and then you gotta go through your whole team again to unequip the useless blade to get your faves back on again. Anyway, we make our way deeper, and Nia has some troubling thoughts as she suddenly feels weaker. She then explains how Jin was the one who saved her, meaning that she looked up to him, and which is why she worked for him. Rex, being his goofball self, snaps her out of it, saying that this ain't the Nia he knows. And don't worry, I'm showing this for a reason.
You what?
So anyway, we finally make it to where the blade should be. However, these dead guardian eater thingos attack us. Yeah, sure is scary. And this battle goes on for so long, with Rex almost dying, when all of a sudden, Nia transforms. Yeah, you heard me, because she is actually a flesh eater. What's that? How is that possible? Well, it is, because Nia was actually a blade brought by the father to heal his daughter. However, when it didn't work, he fused his daughter with Nia.
What?
And she is here now to save Rex. And well, I'll let this scene do the talking.
Thank you for helping me see. I love you, Rex.
What?
They actually did it! A Japanese game with a love confession, and she isn't the main girl. Oh, joyous day! I can't wait for this.
Nia, I love you too.
Yes!
I love you and all you guys.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
My goodness, this game is way too cheesy for me.
Jeez.
Now Nia is your blade, and holy moly, she's so good. The downside to this is that you have no Dromark or the other two blades that Nia had, but I personally liked using her for the only reason to heal myself now instead of relying on the CPU. No other reason at all.
Get out.
Anyway, just as we win, Rex is whisked away to the magical tree place in his head where he met Pyra. And he meets the actual Adam, who recognizes his worth and says he is worthy to wield the third blade. And upon touching it, he sees visions of the world destroyed and a really old man. And then the sword breaks.
Wait, what?
No matter, this has given Rex enough motivation to go forward and rescue Pyra. And not to mention he doesn't really need another blade since he has Nia.
Naturally.
Also in these visions was the place where Pyra was being held, and Morag works it out to be the Titan right at the bottom of the world tree. And so they head towards it. Meanwhile, we see Malos.
Why
are you running?
Somehow stealing Pyra's memories, which allows his core crystal to completely heal without the need of Elysium. He then takes the Omega Feta cheese to make some delicious pasta, but all of a sudden Rayquaza attacks him of its own accord. It seems that Pyra knew it had some auto defense features, which is why she came quietly since she knew it would attack them. But Malice is just way too powerful and goes in to reprogram it. Anyway, back at the bottom, we land on the Titan and slowly make our way up. And I mean slowly, because this place has the other field skill issue, this time with jumping. Now, unlike before where you just needed fire blades, you actually need this leaping ability, and I literally had none that I could use. So once again I meditated and found that Poppy has this at level 2. Now if you've been watching the footage, I never really used Poppy at all in the game. Which is why I never thought about this. And if I didn't meditate on it, I wouldn't know what to do. But in short, you gotta go to Argentum, buy these holy moly maracas, give them to Tora, and boom, it's all done. Also, by the way, while I was farming for more blades, I got this one for Zeke, and she's absolutely perfect for him.
Blade combo, third stage.
Anyway, we run into the overpowered Malos, who can obliterate matter with his dark energy. However, this time, we have Nia, who's like super duper good at healing. She then destroys Malos's body by super regenerating his cells, and so he falls to his death. Oh wait, his body isn't there. I sure hope this doesn't mean anything in JRPGs.
No.
Also, here is where I found that you can easily practice the more intense combo trees that I mentioned in part 1. But then there are also these super duper strong enemies. Level 100? What the heck? That's it, I'm out of here. Wait, his blade. Okay then.
Bye.
Anyway, we finally make it to the top of the Titan, to where Pyra is.
Pyra!
But oh no, it's Malos.
You're alive!
Gee, who could have seen that coming?
Naturally.
Rex, now grown up, and well, with Nia's help, instead of crying, mans up to fight Malos. And so we go and do that. But, well, Malos gets annoyed at Nia always healing us, which reminds me of another JRPG. And so Jin freezes Nia, leaving us vulnerable. And then Super Anime Boy comes charging at us.
This energy's incredible!
Pyra and Mythra tell Rex to give up on them, and that the only reason they wanted to go to Elysium was to destroy themselves to pay for what they did during the war. But Rex the goody-goody says, lol no, I made a promise to take you there myself, and I'm a man of my word. And so the two show themselves to him in front of this absolutely amazing mech, and join forces to bring out the third blade. What? Are you kidding? Pyra and Mythra fused together to make another blade? With green hair and a ponytail? What? And so RamZaes couldn't handle all the waifus in this game, and thus we shall never know the end to this story. Or you will in part 3 because this took so long to edit.
Oh, that's great.
See you soon with...
Trojan, RamZaes, Magnum, Sheik!